Hello, my name is Valeria Vera, and today I will be discussing mass shootings in the United States. The United States gun homicide rate is 26 times higher compared to our neighboring countries. In 2022 alone, over 600 people were killed, with 2,700 people wounded during a mass shooting. The most deadly mass shooting occurred in the modern history of the United States. It's occupied by Las Vegas concert shooting occurred in 2017 with 60 fatalities and hundreds of people injured. Mass shootings are known to occur mostly on heavily populated states, and based on the latest statistics, there has been a significant increase by the 23% of mass shootings since 2019, after the coronavirus pandemic. And all of this is according to the Pew Research Center, published in April 26th of 2023. So we will be discussing the problems, causes, and potential solutions. So let's zoom in into the scope of the problem. The Gun Violence Archives define mass shooting as an incident where 4 or more people have been injured by a firearm. Not necessarily killed, excluding the shooter. If we based on this definition, 706 people were killed in 2021 in a mass shooting. And even though this number might not be alarming, it becomes more concerning when we know that 4 out of the 10 most deadly mass shootings in the United States have occurred, 2 in an elementary school, 1 at a high school, and another one at a campus, a state university campus, based on the Violence Project, published in May 25th of 2022. In 2020, the gun-related injuries surpassed vehicle crashes as the leading death among American children and adolescents. And as a current U.S. college student and a future parent, these numbers are just terrifying. So now let's move into the causes of the problem. 98% of the shooters are males. And even though the causes of the mass shooting are inconclusive, there's this pattern or motivation from the mass shooters that are based on hate and fame seeking. So the causes will be mental illness, domestic violence, and demographic variable. So let's begin with mental illness. So there is a common misconception by policymakers and the public that all of the mass shooters are mentally ill. And according to the Journal of Mental Health and Addiction, published in October of 2023, the research shows that most mental health symptoms are not linked to the gun violence. Instead, it is the easy access to guns. So moving to domestic violence, based on the injury epidemiology, published in May 31st of 2021, 68.2% of the causes of the mass shooting is related to domestic violence. Either these mass shooters have previously killed a partner, a family member, or have experienced domestic violence before. And by domestic violence, there's also this very consistent background in the mass shooters that includes maybe early childhood trauma exposure to violence at a very early age, parent suicide, physical or sexual abuse, and severe bullying. Now let's move into demographic variable. So research shows that racially segregated neighborhoods characterized by high poverty and a low educational attainment are common places for a mass shooting to occur. And also, it has been noted that there have been certain groups that have been targeted by these mass shooters, and those include homosexual or minority groups. And this is all based on the Everytown research published in March of 2023. Okay, so now that we know a little bit more about the background of these people who commit these crimes, let's move into some potential solutions. So, based on the National Institute of Justice, published in August 22 of 2022, they propose some solutions that are more focused on school mass shootings that have been pretty common in the United States over the modern history. So, in school shootings, the potential solutions are safe storage of firearms. So, 90% of the time, it is known that the person who commits the mass shooting in a school, it is a current student or a former student. And since they don't have the financial resources to obtain a gun or the legal age to do it, it's very common that they obtain it from a family member. And they don't even know that their kids know, but these are locked up. So let's just be very mindful of that, because a lot of shootings could be avoided if there was a safe storage of these firearms. So the next one is be aware of warning signs. As previously discussed, the personality or the background of a mass shooter, these people become they become lonely, short-tempered, and research shows that 4 out of the school shootings, at least one person was aware of this plan beforehand. So if just the schools or the teachers or the school staff is aware of maybe their students' behavior and just being pay attention of what's going on in the classroom. If there has been some several bullying going on, just pay attention to that, because then well, as we know, this can be causes for a potential mass shooter. And lastly, connecting students to resources. Since we know the background of the mass shooter, if these students have had probably an intervention from the same school's resources, someone to talk to and to let their anger out, and just some special attention, then probably these mass shootings could be avoided. As we mentioned, these shooters are trying to seek attention from the public, and just if they had been hurt before, or maybe someone had talked to them about these problems at home, then well, these shootings could be avoided. So now, going to the general mass shooting, Gillian Peterson, in her article published in September 7th of 2021, suggests the gun policy regulation. As the public, we can influence the gun policy, and even if it seems hard to ban guns in the United States, at least we can push our government to set more strict laws, or to just catch any red flag about any person who is intending to commit a crime with these guns. And the other solution is suicide prevention training and resources. She talks a little bit about how these mass shooters are not planning to get out of this scene alive. Most of the times, they kill themselves during the act, or they're killed by a police officer. So maybe they had these thoughts about suicide before, and they just didn't have the attention, as I mentioned. So these resources can help. So after knowing the causes of these mass shootings, such as demographic variables, mental illness, and domestic violence, which is our primary cause, now we're gonna go into the conclusions. So let's just be very aware of our surroundings and spotting warning signs, because this may buy us seconds of our lives. And just let's be aware that everyone can help to this mass shooting problem through lawmaking influence, and just be kind, be very kind with each other. Thank you.